Sometimes I fall without making a sound. Will it ever be the same again? It took me too long to take the blame. Yeah. Oh, Chico, little Chico, trying Kiki. Oh, I love ya. Oh, I love you. No. I love your belly and your butt. Oh, I'll fucking cuddle you up, you son of a bitch. No, it's okay, boys. I'm in a Jimmy's. We're already recording. We're recording. We're recording right now. We're live. We're live. Get back in place, you sons of bitches. We'll edit it in post. Welcome back to Uncle Rico's Storytime. The change of the new year did not change the chi of Rico. I think we're like a week into it now. I don't even know what the date is anymore. It's the 8th. Yeah, so nothing's really changed. We'll get you a sex demon update. But first, more workplace stupidity. So, I'm volatile. I'm emotional. I'm prone to outbursts. Argumentative. When I took this job, I would see things that they were doing wrong or policy changes. And I would say, hey, what about this and this? I would voice my opinion. I would never get any feedback back, so I stopped. But when I see major things coming down the pipeline, and I know that this stuff is going to happen, I always shoot out an email, because I like to go back and read it when the thing happens and laugh at them. We've had a couple of dumb things, like we went to a third-party auction company, and I found out we started taking pictures of the unit number on there, and it would give them the address and everything. And I found out that once they pay the third party, they give the customer all the contact information, so they could very easily make their way onto the property and then bullshit one of our agents. And I shot off that email saying, hey, this and that could happen. They could basically gain access to their unit and only pay the 10% that the third party auction unit charges us. So, and didn't get a response. And literally a couple of days later, I get a phone call from this phone operator down in Texas, who's like, hey, we got a customer trying to get into the unit and he can't get the lock off. And I go, okay, well, there's multiple locks. Did you match up the serial number? And she goes, no, he's not making a lot of sense, so, but is there any way you could go over there and take the lock off for him? He's already proved he is who he is. And I go, okay. And so I drive over there and I'm like, wait a second, this unit I just did lock cuts for, I thought. So I go over there, I go, hey, what's going on? I play dumb. I go, I don't know, they just told me to come over. And he goes, oh yeah, we bought this auction unit and we're just trying to get in and get the unit. And I go, oh, well, that's handled through our auction person. And all you gotta, once you call up and give them your payment information and everything, once the payment goes through, then they tell you, the lock code number and everything, and let's see your email. He shows me this email and it's the third party thing. And I go, I go, oh, did you make two payments? And he goes, yeah, I'm all paid up. And I go, did you make two payments though? One payment is 10% of what you bought it for, and that goes to the third party auction company, and then you got to square up with us the rest of it. And he's like, oh yeah, it's all squared away. And he shows me the email again, and I go, yeah, this is from the third party auction unit. You still have to square up with us, and then once you square up with us, then they'll give you that code number. So I left and called the customer care person up and was like, yeah, that's a fucking auction buyer. He's trying to get into his unit without paying us the $300 and whatever dollars he owes. So, but I've seen like other things like this happen, and I've voiced my opinion, and that always falls on deaf ears. I won't go into all the instances. If you want to check out a couple of my back podcasts, but so the beginning of last year was interesting. I found out that I had a new boss that didn't have the balls to introduce himself to me formally, and then he basically hired a right-hand woman to do everything. He fired my supervisor, left it all in this lady Kelly's hands, and then he pieced out. Apparently, he spends a lot of his time at storage conventions. So I got this idea. We've ran out of green at the right away. When Kelly came in, she spearheaded the color coding lock mission, which was we were very short on green locks. We have like 300 some red Da Vinci locks. They're very expensive locks. They're like $10 a lock. So when a new customer comes in and he gets this lock, and he gets a strongly worded email that says, hey, turn that lock in, they don't turn it in. We use the same kind of lock for our overlocks and auction. Overlocks are people that are having problems paying their bills. So what do they do with the locks? They keep them also. So there was one when we did a cleanse refresh last, I think one unit had 6 locks assigned to their unit, and we didn't have any of them. So, but we have a green lock shortage, and Da Vinci, the company that sells us these locks, they're always back ordered. So it always takes forever for us to get these locks. Okay, so we've got a lock shortage. So they come in, they go, hey, we want you to color code everything. All the vacancies we want to have green, all the auctions, all the overlocks and everything we want to be red. And I said, well, that would be a great idea, except we're always running out of locks. So we've tried to do this in the past, and within about a month, we go back to mismatching. So I'd rather not do this in the middle of summer. And they spend like, it was a lot of money. I thought he was getting some crazy discount, but it was like $8 or $9 a lock, and they purchased 300, 400, 300 probably green locks. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go through and color code all these. So what's gonna happen now is these green locks are gonna be used up. We're gonna run out of green locks within a month, and then I'm gonna be left with these 200 red locks now that we just pulled out of the field. So what are we going to do then? No response to that email. So I go through, do the color coding, and everything happens that I said would. That was recently, but then me and this lady Kelly get into it over that. I said, hey, we did a bunch of other stuff. I said, but I just did a bunch of work, extra work. That was pointless. That was irrelevant. Just absolutely. If you boil it down, the whole purpose of color-coded locks doesn't even matter. The only thing that changes is you say to the customer, hey, there's going to be a green or red lock on there. That's temporary. You got to provide your own personal lock to drop the green or red lock in the lock deposit box in the front. We know you won't. We're not going to charge you any money. So just keep it. But we did this. Of course, ran out of keys, so I'm back to missing matching and everything. But me and Kelly butted heads. So we've always got these new apps. I'm always resistant. Sometimes they end up switching the app before I even do it. But Kelly sends me an email about middle of December that says, "Hey, your work care agent that you get along with really well, the one that you've been working with now for 3 years, that you guys have a really good uh, rapport, and we don't have any issues with you guys at all. You guys get your vacancies done in a timely fashion, and your properties are good. We're gonna switch that up. This guy Josh is now going to be in charge and processing all of your property stuff. Do not reach out to him directly. In emergencies, you can email him at this address, but all communication has to go through Notify, our app that makes things harder for us." So I read this email, I get off of bed rest from my hand, and of course I have a lot of vacancies. So I go in and I start up. I don't think Kelly realizes how many vacancies there are. I'm not going to go through and tag. This was my argument when she first told me about this. I go, okay, what we're doing now, instead of me just texting Judy and there being a record of it, because they keep saying, oh, this way there's a record. We're using this new app Notify to have a record. It'll have a record of all of the communication. I'm like, oh, like texts and timestamps and emails and stuff. Digital timestamps. This is a profound thing. So, but I go, okay, so instead of me just texting Judy 037 is vacant now, you want me to go in, assign it in Notify, hit I think there was 17 different subcategories, priority level, issue, go through issue, find it, all these different things, just to vacate a unit. And this happens probably 30 times, 40 times a month at each location. So when they made this ultimatum and basically forced my hand to do this, and they've done this before. One of our idiot bosses, Chris, came back from a convention and he's like, dude, yeah, okay, we've got these little tiny security stickers. They got to go on all the locks right now. And I'm like, okay, well, I have a really bad back. It's going to kill me if I have to bend over and fucking peel these stickers off and put them on these personal locks. Why are we doing this? It's a security measure. How's it a security measure? It will, and my boss comes back to me finally, because we're going through my boss, Cheryl, and she's going to Chris and getting the answers and then coming back to me. This is in case somebody breaks into a guy's unit and then puts his own lock on it to like grab the rest of the stuff. And I'm like, so you're talking about a thief breaking and entering to the same place multiple times. Okay, that doesn't happen. Thieves don't slow play a B&E. Okay, they grab their shit and they take off. They don't come back. They don't pick through the place with a fine-tooth comb. The other thing was, somebody could go in, somebody could pretend to look at the unit, get the code to the lock, keep the lock, put their own private lock on there. And I'm like, that's what I do walkthroughs for, but you made that irrelevant when you brought in all these apps. I can't even do walkthroughs now. Also, in your situation, there's absolutely nothing stopping me from, in 2 weeks, putting a fucking sticker on that thieves' lock or on that person's lock that puts in there, because we're not corroborating and checking. We're not making sure that those. I go, I'm just not going to do it. You can fire me over it. And so the next month, an email comes out. Mind you, at this point, we had like 17 businesses, like 17 locations. An email comes out saying he restructured the pay system and was going to be giving us $500 less, but that $500 was earned at the end of the year in bonus, and you had to meet all these criterias, and 30% of the criteria is if I was using this app or not. So they get me, they force me into these situations. Although in that situation, no. It was the 30% that time was the adherence to policies, and it was all weighted for the stickers. So when I read this over, I was like, oh my god, this is all over the stickers. I go, nope, I'm not gonna do it. And my boss Cheryl was like, what do you mean? And I go, I'm not gonna okay this change, and I'm still not gonna do the fucking stickers. You can keep your $500 bonus. That works out to whatever a month, and I'm okay not doing that. It will cause me a lot of pain. So no, I'm not gonna do that again. He's gonna have to fire me. So we get into this situation where they force me into this communication thing, and I just had the hand surgery and everything. I'm not happy with the job at all, but I've kind of made my mind up that, like, hey man, holy shit, I've been here 4 years. I can't believe this. I've tried to quit like every month. But I've kind of wrapped my head around being here again. So I've started to improve the place and work and do all this stuff and pick up my performance a bit. I came back from the surgery with a vengeance and was excited to tackle it. I jumped out of the notify thing full bore. I saw the email, started doing things. Had vacancies because I was off. I was on limited light duty for a while because of hand, so I had a lot of vacancies in December, the last week of the year. So I went in and I started up a bulk task for each location. I have 3 locations, so location 1, location 2, location 3, and then I started up a task that said December vacancies with the year, and then the following month did January vacancies with the new year. And the very first one that I did on, I think it was like the 22nd, I said, I tried to tag my new, you have to toggle all these, 17 different choices. One of them was care agent. And mine used to be Judy. Well, I still have Judy, but I'm not going to tag her, so I have no Josh. So I tagged my boss, Kelly. And I said, under comments, I said, hey, Kelly, I don't have an option to tag Josh. I'm sure it's just enabling him somehow in a setting, but I'll bet you need admin, user, level clearance. And I said, let me know if there's anything that you want to change, but I thought this might be the easiest to, And then in the comments then, under these bulk tasks, I would put V&A, vacant and available, 0321, comma, 1217, comma, 1334. And then a couple of days later, vacant and available, 0506, comma, 06112. And a day later, RV12, comma, 0108, comma, and so on. So I did that for December, did that for January, all 3 locations. Yesterday, Kelly calls me up, says, hey, and meanwhile I'm tasking other things. Hey, I had a double break-in. Can't tag Josh, so I'm sending it to you again. Hey, I've got this recurring trespass violation. I don't believe we have done anything formal. I don't believe we have restricted them. They're camping out again. Here's a picture of them sitting around smoking. And then yesterday, which would have been the 6th or the 7th, I get a phone call from Kelly. Hey, the cameras are, one of the tasks Josh sent me was, hey, we went to go look at something and half the cameras seem to be out at location one. And I go, well, I think the handyman lives there now. I'm not going to go into that residence anymore if somebody's there. There's nothing to reset there. All of our locations have half the cameras out. There's multiple tasks that say half the cameras out. I need to get it fixed. So yesterday, Kelly calls me up, says, hey, camera guy's out there taking care of stuff. I go, yeah, I talked to him. Apparently it's a bad power, the internet, the bad Wi-Fi isn't getting bounced to him, but we have 5G. I've reset it. It's working now. He says everything's working. They haven't worked in 2 months. I haven't had full feed. So whatever he did has fixed it. She goes, okay. And I go, by the way, saw Josh, did you see, am I enabled with Josh? She goes, yep, I got it. I saw that, and we're going to get that fixed. And I go, it should just be, checking a box and enabling it. And she's like, yep, that's what it was, is checking a box. And it is one of those things, like when I deal with Kelly, I can tell that she's lying. Like she doesn't know, or she's covering up or something. I can tell, So she says that, I'm like, something is weird there. And she said it earlier when we were talking about the color coding of the locks. Like we were arguing back and forth about what benefit it would be. I'm like, you're asking, if you want to do this company-wide, you're asking your caretaker to put in a ton of work. You're going to spend about $500 or $600 on more locks that, again, we're going to run out of right away. And we're supposed to be switching over to this new lock system. So I'm just being devil's advocate here when I'm saying we're going to put a ton of time and effort into color coding these locks when it does not pay off. It does not matter in the system. We're 100% on. The only thing is, if you highlight your walkthrough, there is a subject thing there for color. You could tag that if you tag that if you wanted to, but it doesn't serve any purpose logistically. And we were arguing. I hemmed her into a corner, painted her into a corner. And same thing when she said something to me, I could tell, like, and before it was like, look, this is, Adam gave you this. You're defending this idea because Adam told you to do it. And her response was, I could tell she was lying. And I mistook it for just being loyal to her boss, and she didn't let her guard down. But I found out now that it was her idea. Adam has basically washed her hands of the property. He's spending his time at these conventions while Kelly is running the business. It was why my supervisor was fired. They were like, we're not going to need you because Kelly is now going to be running everything. And so Kelly's making the decisions. Kelly doesn't like me, but Adam already knows that I oversee 3 properties. I do everything as far as landscaping, maintenance. I used to do repairs, like painting, everything. I spray, I weed spray, I bug spray. If they do a P&L for my 3, when I do repairs, I use old materials and half-ass it. If they do P&Ls, I've got to be saving them so much fucking money. And Adam was very impressed and only spoke glowingly of me when I finally talked to him. So I know before we get into that, basically I know that she can't fire me. And I know that is why she's been doing these fucked up things. I found out that I was the only location that did the color coding thing. I was the only location that had to do the offline purge. Even though from the jump I was like, hey, we got to get rid of these offlines. Hey, can I get rid of these offlines? They wouldn't fucking let me do anything. And then they were like, you got to get rid of your offlines. So I found out that she was responsible for that also. Well, now this latest one, I'm shooting off all these tasks. Everything was fine. Yesterday, she calls me up. She sounds pleasant. I'm overly nice to her, ready to go. Like, hey, new year, let's fucking go get Adam. She hangs up the phone, And some other shit happened, but then today I get all of my tasks reassigned back to me. And under the comment is a comment from Josh that says, don't reassign these to anybody. They won't be processed unless there's a picture of the unit vacant. So I'm like, oh my God. So when we first started talking about the notify system, I'm like, okay, this is a lot of work. We have to tag all of these things. It's a pain in the ass. And then also you want a picture of the unit thing. Like even when the customer calls in and is like, hey, I've vacated 247, and we run over there and see it's fucking vacant, you still want a picture? She's like, yes. I go, you realize it's a pain in the ass. I go, my phone sucks. I'm cleaning shit. It's getting dusty. You're blowing dust all over the place. You want me to reassign the lock. You want me to go into notify, do a task. You want me to do all of this. You want me to take the picture of it. You're basically saying you don't trust your caretaker. I'm not fucking smart enough to know what unit it is. I've never had a problem with it. We've never had any fucking problems with it. We're safeguarded. They come in, you call the fucking person up, send the email out. Are you vacant? But either way, this is a problem that you invented. Before, our system was leave the goddamn door open. Okay? Caretaker sees the door open, they blow it out, you're vacant. Now they're going to this new Wi-Fi, it'll, everything on the internet will figure itself out. Like, the crap that customers leave behind will somehow magically take care of itself. Siri is going to come pick up a fucking bed mattress that everybody loves to leave behind. Bed mattresses and tires. Siri's going to get rid of the tire. They don't, and I brought this up right away. I go, I'm thinking your plan is going to be whoever you get for landscaping, paying them, once a week to come through and pick up stuff. But you don't realize they're going to charge you an arm and a leg to get rid of that fucking mattress. But so Kelly is strong-arming me into this thing. The amazing thing is there's only like 2 or 3 other caretakers. We're trying to get to this system. We keep trying to go to a no-key system where it's wireless, there's no locks. That keeps having problems, so the brakes are put on that, so they can't phase me out. I was told when I took this job that they were going to phase me out within 6 months. I'm like, that's perfect. That lets me get my ducks in a row. It's been 4 years now. And I'm just holding on to the job because it's great to have this house that's free, So, especially while I get my mountain land ready. So, they send all these tasks back to me with this comment that's like, hey, you need to, get pictures on there. And so I comment, like, I asked on the 22nd, is there anything you want me to change? It has been 14 days now. It's been 2 weeks now. You can't just throw all the shit back on me. And, so wasn't very happy. So as I'm figuring out, I call my old care agent and find out she's pissed too. She's like, yes, what the fuck? Like, Kyle, her husband, what's up, Kyle? Lamboner rules. Kyle, her husband, is pissed off. She's like, they got this vacancy. Like, fucking old lady was like, yeah, I'm out. And so they put a task in for him to go check it, and he's like, yeah, it's vacant. And they're like, oh, we need a picture of it now with the vacant. He's like, what the fuck? The customer said that they're vacant. I'm like, yep, I knew it. But that is now standard for customers when they call up and when they leave the door open. We have to do the same thing. And I would have been 100% okay with that. I would have started doing that, okay? But the fact that I already put in 30 units, you just say from here on out, you do it. You don't push it back out on us. This does not make sense. And so I go, is Kelly working Christmas? Nope. Was Kelly working New Year's? Nope. I go, okay, Kelly took fucking 2 weeks off. She came back to a world of shit. Probably customer complaints up the wazoo. I moved out in December. I got charged January 1st. I'm still... And she's lashing out. And now she's painted herself into a corner of fucking stupid invented work that she invented. She's now pushed it off now onto Josh, but she wants to save face and is displacing and kind of going after a policy change. So I go, she probably went to fucking Adam and was like, oh, it's because the caretakers aren't doing the right thing. And so she goes, no, this is from the owner. And I go, the owner sent you an email about how we just, out of the blue, the owner was like, hey, we've never had any issues before, but from now on I want all of the last 4 remaining caretakers to take a picture when they do their vacancies. And she's like, yeah, I'll take a snapshot of it, send it to you. So she sends me a snapshot, and right in the middle of it says, also policy change, Kelly would like, as per Kelly, we want you to take pictures of the open unit now when you do the vacancy thing. She has been inundated with all this back work, and taking the picture would save her a lot of time, which is bullshit, because taking a picture only means that you got 2 different places to fucking look in. It's a safeguard. I get the idea of the fucking thing. She's adamant that caretakers are not doing their job. When she came in, she got a couple of customers that were like, it's super, super dusty. No big deal. Dispatch me. I'll run over. I'll blow it out real quick. Some of our units sit around for years. Our vacancy rate is at 50% right now. So overreaction is Kelly's kind of normal play. Okay. So when Kelly comes back from this extended vacation, she's got all of my shit that I sent her, and probably getting in trouble. So she overreacts, sends the email out to everybody but me. Okay. So then she can come down on me when I don't do it. Okay. But I knew there had to be some other play with that. And sure enough, it was, or maybe the email was from, no, it was from an owner. So, but what she did is she got the owner on board, so that way she can enforce if anybody doesn't do it, which would be her final move to get rid of me. But the problem is I've pretty much made my mind up to leave when they purged me of all my offline units. We had a bunch of problems with the auction. We were going to switch auction companies a while back, and we didn't email notify our buyers, even though we have a long list of our buyers and all of their email readily available. We didn't shoot out a blast saying, hey, we're switching websites. This is the link to the new website. And they underestimated how territorial auction unit buyers are. Out in this area, when we decided to switch auction units, we had, when we first started, we used to do the in-person auction, and we'd have 7 to 8 people show up. Once we went to online, we probably had the same 7, but it doubled. We'd probably have the same 15 people doing all the auctions. Once it started to build, we probably had 50 or 60 buyers, I would say. But when we switched, we went to a different website, didn't blast them. So the first auction, like, we only sold half of them. And we found crazy good shit in them. Expensive $2,000 massage chairs, saxophones, guitars, all sorts of stuff. Shit, when you open it up, you're like, oh my God, why didn't this sell? And the first couple of auctions, I was like, okay, double checking, like, you're sure this is a no sale? Nope. And I'm like, you sure you want me to clear it? Yep. I go, I can keep it. I don't care what you do with it. So I was sitting on probably 40 some units of valuable shit. And Kelly had it cleared out without me knowing it. So, and she had me go and do status checks of them all before she did it, which was a lot of work for me. And then she ended up having this new handyman do it. And she tried to get him in here without me finding that, and started up this huge shitstorm. But so she did that, and that's when I kind of knew, okay, I'm done here. I want to get up to the mountain and have a livable space up there by summertime. And then if I quit here, then I can just travel in the summer and then go up to the mountain full time in the fall. That was my plan. And then I had the hand surgery, and things are kind of going better, and so I started to embrace being here longer, and then all of this stuff happened. But to make a long story even longer, I get this snapshot from the owner, from the email, saying, this was Kelly's idea, and I'm one step ahead of her knowing what she's gonna do. So I shot off a couple of comments on the notify under the task. And the best one, I think, was basically me saying, like, fuck you, you're going to have a lot of problems with me, but not saying it. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to read these off if I can find them real quick. So the first one I popped off was pretty pointed. And was basically like, okay, you had me, so I'm forced to do all these comms solely through this app, but it wasn't set up to do properly and without any instructions, I might add. I asked if I should change anything 2 weeks ago and never got a response. Now you're sitting on like 2 weeks of vacancies, but won't process them until I go back out and reopen to take pictures. This is all pretty recently after having major hand surgery, by the way. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. Well, this company has proven that processing statuses is not a high priority, so I won't be able to proceed until that priority designation is changed. It was a high priority to go out and take these pictures. I have unaddressed double break-ins and a trespassing violation still tasked out that were high priority. So I'm getting conflicting messages between marching orders and what actually happens. Then I found out about all the Judy stuff. Or not Judy stuff, but the Kelly stuff, about how she's responsible for all this extra shit, not Adam. So she's got it out for me and how she's going to play this. So my next comment on another task was, I just want it noted that I was fully compliant, doing everything the way it was supposed to be up until this decision. I jumped into Notify, cleared my task list. I had 0 tasks assigned to me, 20 unaddressed tasks going out, and I had jumped back into it after my surgery. Eventually, you won't be able to blame these bad systems on us, as it will catch up to you. You know they are not doing things the right way when they need an owner to help correct their mistakes. I think this decision is not process these will come back to haunt us as a company, but then again, what do I know? So they painted themselves into the corner, though, when I realized that I got them fucking dead to rights. And my plan is to make them change their designation, and then I'm still not going to do shit. But then I found out about all the Judy stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely gone then. And I know now that, or not Judy, but Kelly. And I know now that Kelly wants me gone. I've offended her. I took some fucking shots at her. So I know she's pissed. She's a bitter old bitch. She wants me gone. But Adam knows that I do good work. So I think she knows that no matter what she says, she's not going to get me fired. Now she's got to dictate from the owner saying you need to do it this way. This will give her the grounds to terminate me. You know what? He's obstinate. He won't do anything the right way. You know, we brought up the email, everything. He doesn't care. He's still insistent on doing things his way. So they're gonna have to fire me, which is fine because then I go directly on disability and start my retirement anyways. I'm okay with that. It forces my hand, but I was hoping for 2-3 months. This is great. But then I realized I'm like, I've got him by the nuts though. You can't pressure me into doing something to make it easier for you, you know. She's getting heat from customer complaints. One of the vacancies I tested out was from fucking December 22nd. My plan was to be like, oh, I forgot this one, oops, do the new ones with pictures and stuff. I figured I could go 2 weeks of new vacancies, taking the pictures, and those 30 or 40 vacancies that I did December through the first week and still not address them, and let the fucking fire just torch and let those customers bitch and moan and complain, and then just get them to do them. But now I believe my plan is to not do anything. I mean, they've told me that they've shown me that processing the, I'm not gonna fucking do this. I'm not gonna sabotage this shit. But yeah, I definitely plan on taking a week off. I'm an independent contractor now, so a week off for sure. That brings me to the 15th. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I'm not taking fucking pictures. I know I'm not gonna go find the fucking codes in DaVinci, open up the locks, take a picture and fucking upload it to Notify, and tag each task that I already did. I know that. I know that shit ain't gonna happen. So, go fuck yourself. Oh my god, 43 minutes already? Okay. I think we're gonna save Sex Demon recap for another time. Tune in tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Hello there. You've tuned in to a post-credit secret scene, and you've now discovered this is actually my real voice. A hybrid cross between the Beatles and Crocodile Dundee. Delicious. No, I realize I wrapped this up with the whole point of the thing. As once this whole thing bubbled and churned and I realized kind of motives and started predicting, moves and everything, and realized what Kelly was up, the way that they were going to play me, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous that they're trying to strong arm me with not doing their job. Like, in the past, they've said, hey, put the stupid fucking stickers on the locks or we're going to keep your bonus. And I'm like, $500. No. No deal. They did other shit where they were like, hey, do this or do that. And they were difficult decisions. This time they're like, hey man, these vacancies for these customers trying to leave, we're not going to let them leave unless you go out and do more work. I'm good with that. We're not gonna process these at all until you go out there and take those pictures. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. For real, we mean it. Like, we will piss all of these customers off and make them keep complaining unless you go out there and take those pictures for us. God damn it. Talking real shit here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. They're like playing hardball, but I'm not gonna do shit. Like, you gotta. What? Like, we will not. For these tasks. These fucking tasks that we have been trying to get you to do. We're not gonna clear them out of this app. They are gonna stack up, boy. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. The new vacancies are going to stack up also. Because I'm on the fence of whether or not I'm going to fucking send those in. No! The ones with the, if you leave your door open, hey, we'll get you vacant. No, they won't honor those. Maybe I will send those in without pictures. Maybe I'll continue to send those in without pictures. Nope. No, I think I'm just not going to do them at all. And then once I get, fired in a month, they'll have a lot of units to take care of. Yeah, this is gonna get fun. So stupid. Alright, like, share, comment. Don't text me. Comment. If you have a comparable story to your work, don't call me up. Actually, call me up because I really want to talk to you. But also, put it in the comments. Be like, yes, my bitch boss, Samantha, did the same fucking thing to me. And it doesn't have to be a woman. I'm not woman bashing. Kelly's just inept and a fucking liar. And she sucks. Down with Kelly. I think we know who's going to win this one. I mean, it's playing with a stacked hand, though. The only thing she can do is fire me, and that's what I want. Like, that's what I've been... Fire me, for God's sakes. Put me out of my misery. Alright. Share, like, and subscribe, because I know for sure I've been shadow banned on Facebook. Peace out.